Hello, Aluxers. This is a special series we're doing here on Alux, where every day we showcase the life and story of some of the most important figures in rap music. Today we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about Notorious B.I.G. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello, Aluxers. Today we're taking a closer look at a legendary American rapper, the Notorious B.I.G. The Notorious B.I.G., whose real name was Christopher George Latour Wallace, was born in Brooklyn, New York on May 21, 1972, and was one of the greatest rappers in the music arena. Christopher Wallace, who was known by his professional alias, is classified as one of the greatest rappers of all time. Throughout his career in the music industry, the Notorious B.I.G. sold over 17 million records in the U.S., including 13.4 million in album sales. His official rap name was the Notorious B.I.G., but we also know him as Biggie Smalls or just Biggie. His music has stood the test of time, and he still has plenty of fans all around the world. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. Now that we've revealed some of his background, let's launch into our list of the 15 things you didn't know about the Notorious B.I.G. Number 1. The Notorious B.I.G. won his first music awards in 1995. The Notorious B.I.G. won his first Rap Artist of the Year award for his album The Notorious B.I.G. in 1995. He also got a Rap Single Billboard Music Award in 1995 for his song One More Chance. Billboard is a publication that compiles a music popularity chart for all the music releases within the United States of America. The Billboard Music Award nominees and finalists are generally chosen based on the greatest number of votes that are tabulated by the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences. Number 2. As a teenager, the Notorious B.I.G. showed off his rapping skills through street and group performances. Biggie started his rapping journey in his teenage years. He mustered the courage to entertain people while performing on the streets and, at times, co-performing with other street-performing groups, like the Old Gold Brothers and Techniques. To further improve his rapping skills, he requested to be transferred to another high school, George Westinghouse Career and Technical Education School, which helps to cultivate young people's skill sets to a top-notch level. Number 3. He was a high school dropout. Though the Notorious B.I.G. excelled in his studies and was praised as a good student after his transfer, he had an attitude problem. He was not able to fit into the new school culture, so he eventually dropped out from George Westinghouse Career and Technical Education High School at the age of 17. After his dropout, Biggie was arrested as a weapons holder and was placed on probation for 5 years. Number 4. His rapping career began unintentionally in 1991. In 1991, the Notorious B.I.G. started to develop a demo tape under the title Microphone Murderer. This was unintentionally promoted by famous DJ Mr. C and was heard by a music magazine editor. Microphone Murderer was then mentioned in the music magazine and brought to a recording producer's attention. And that was when the Notorious B.I.G. decided to sign with a recording producer at Uptown. Number 5. Notorious B.I.G.'s estate is worth around $160 million. The Notorious B.I.G.'s estate is currently worth around $160 million. His previous net worth upon his death was only around $20 million. However, his profits have increased tremendously due to his previous album releases, business deals inclusive of licensing, re-releases, endorsements, and more after his death. Even after his passing in March of '97, another 2 albums were released under his name. Number 6. In 1994, Notorious B.I.G. was married to R&B singer Faith Evans. The Notorious B.I.G. married R&B singer Faith Evans on August 4, 1994. They met at a photo shoot and quickly fell in love with one another. After 2 years of marriage, Faith Evans gave birth to a son, and they named their son Christopher Wallace Jr. after his father. Number 7. He went to jail for 9 months in 1991. When the Notorious B.I.G. was 18 back in 1991, he was jailed for the first time for 9 months. After he dropped out of high school, he possessed illegal weapons, became more active in criminal dealings, and went back to his drug dealing habits. Despite his probation sentence after his first arrest, his lesson wasn't learned. He was arrested for dealing drugs and had to spend 9 months in jail before he made his bail. Number 8. He had a daughter with his longtime high school girlfriend. On August 8, 1993, his firstborn daughter, Tiana, was born. The mother was Biggie's longtime girlfriend from his high school days, even though they had been broken up. He continued selling drugs after she was born to support her. His goal was to give her everything she wanted. His producer, Sean Combs, now better known as Diddy, convinced him to quit selling drugs once he found out. Number 9. He was arrested in Manhattan for threats, vandalism, and harassment. On March 23, 1996, Biggie was once again arrested in Manhattan for second-degree harassment. He chased after 2 fans who were only asking for his autographs and even threatened to kill them. Afraid they would get hurt, his fans quickly hailed a cab and tried to flee. However, Notorious B.I.G. went up and smashed the windows of the cab they were in and punched one of them. The sentence for his arrest was for him to complete 100 hours of community service. Number 10. His childhood apartment was sold for $750,000 back in 2013. The apartment that Biggie grew up in Brooklyn has been sold at least twice since he lived there. His connection to the apartment has dramatically increased the value of the living space. The 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment sold for $400,000 in 2004, and the value escalated to $750,000 when it was sold in 2013. Whoever bought the house is probably used to the tour buses stopping in front of the house daily by now. And Aluxers, if you want to find out some more about iconic houses, check out our video, The Top 10 World's Most Expensive Houses Ever Built, by clicking in the top right corner. Number 11. The Notorious B.I.G. smoked marijuana in public while he was recording his album, Life After Death. When he was recording with his rapping partner Lil Cease for the album Life After Death, Notorious B.I.G. was arrested for smoking marijuana in public, and his car was impounded as well. This led to the rappers renting a car with brake problems, resulting in them having a car accident. They continued working on the album even while he was hospitalized after the incident. Number 12. Notorious B.I.G. died March 9, 1997 at 1:15 a.m. The night before his death, Biggie was in Los Angeles to act as an award presenter at the 11th annual Soul Train Music Awards. He also attended the after-party. When he was leaving from the after-party to go to his hotel during the midnight hour on March 9, 1997, his car was stopped at a red light when a black car pulled up alongside his vehicle. Despite the tight security accompanying him, the driver of the black car still managed to shoot 4 bullets at Notorious B.I.G. with a 9mm blue steel pistol gun. He was pronounced dead at the hospital at 1:15 a.m. Number 13. 2 albums were released after the Notorious B.I.G.'s death. Around 2 weeks after Biggie's traumatic death, his album Life After Death was released and quickly topped the Billboard charts. Some of the guest artists on the album included Jay-Z, Lil Kim, R. Kelly, and Puff Daddy. It was nominated for Best Rap Album and Best Rap Solo Performance for its single Hypnotize at the Grammy Awards in 1997, the same year of Notorious B.I.G.'s death. Number 14. The Notorious B.I.G. worked with Michael Jackson on his album, History. Biggie worked with pop singer Michael Jackson on his album, History, but this album recording was interrupted several times. One of the interruptions was due to Biggie refusing to meet Michael Jackson, as at that point in time, there were several child sexual abuse allegations against Jackson. Number 15. The car Biggie was shot in was put up for auction at $1.5 million. The car Biggie was shot in initially was taken as evidence and sold at a public auction in October 1997, just a few months after his death. The BMW SUV was bought by a woman who wasn't aware of its significance. Police later informed her of the car's history, and it was put up for auction in 2017 for $1.5 million, and it came with a letter of authenticity. Well, Aluxers, that wraps up our list of the 15 things you didn't know about the Notorious B.I.G. Now that you've learned some more about this legendary rapper, we're curious to know, do you think the Notorious B.I.G. still would have become famous if his demo tape wasn't accidentally promoted by the DJ? Let us know what you think in the comments. And of course, as a thank you for sticking with us all the way to the end, here's your bonus. Number 16. The Notorious B.I.G. had a clothing line called Brooklyn Mint. The Notorious B.I.G. established a clothing line called Brooklyn Mint to manufacture and produce super big-sized clothes. However, this clothing business fell stagnant after his demise. In 2004, his managers decided to revive the clothing line and relaunched it to produce tees with Biggie's image on them. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an Aluxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.